Okay, so I just heard like a real world example of a person that I think has really just let a sort of I'm a realist perspective go to their head and come to a terrifying conclusion that human beings can never get over the fact that we need to kill each other, go to war, have conflicts. I understand that these problems may never be entirely eradicatable, but progress can be made towards them. The guy I'm talking about appears to be from the Trigonometry podcast, and it was during a clip where he was on the Joe Rogan show talking about the possibility of Russia using nukes. At the end of that talk, he gave this rundown of what was going on through schools in terms of foreign policy, foreign conflict issues. What was being taught and promoted was that no country that had a McDonald's went to war with each other. And so basically, because there's trade going on, then there's not going to be any conflict. Well, it just lessens the amount of conflict, is what I would say to that. You're not going to need to throw out an entire theory and also to tie it to communism and Homo Sovieticus, like, because certain ideas that have merit get taken to an extreme degree doesn't mean the idea does not have merit. And this to me also ties into all the stoicism stuff I've been talking about. It's like, we just got to accept this fact. It's like, yeah, what went on in the background? Despite the fact that Russia and the Ukraine and the EU all have an interest and all have traded with each other, why is it that there's tensions going on there? There's a lot of factors there, and a lot of it has to do with corporate interests of the United States, not necessarily Russian aggression. Um, that's just a fact of a lot of the wars that have been going on, and whatever side, whoever you think is right in this conflict, I to say that the trade between countries and allowing it to happen without interference, for instance, allowing one of the Nord Stream pipelines to go through, and kind of intervening in the process of that in a way that is beneficial to all parties if the United States decided to intervene, then that would make a lot more sense than funneling weapons into the area, right? So this idea that this whole project is communist in nature and it's gotten subverted into our institutions. Sure, there's truth to some aspects of that, but the the idea that you want to trade with people instead of go to war with them, instead of funnel weapons into places and back factions, is not a bad one. And to say that people act out of hubris, I believe this probably he's going to come down on the side, at least maybe in his mind. He hasn't said it expressly in that clip that I saw. That Putin has this grandiose idea of reunifying like a Russian empire or something, and that's a I don't think that's the case, but sure, it's possible that people like that will arise, right? But how much more rare is that? And how much more rare is it for that sort of egoism and self interest to take reign to such a degree to where we have a world cataclysm kind of event? It's more of a fact of people just not paying attention and letting just these massive conglomerate interests run things. It's a number of different factors working together. I know that I just named like one big influence, but actually the point I wanted to make, I'm trying to keep all these things in my head in a logical sequence, was that it's never just the the foibles of human nature. The foibles of human nature and circumstance are what create these issues. And to point to the foibles of like egoism and inherent human flaws and things like that, that's just not enough. It's what I've been talking about in terms of like stoicism, various flavors of Catholicism and other sects of Christianity and other religions. They almost want to take a dire view of humans, of our ability to live peacefully together, because it's favorable to their eschatological view of things. And I'm not anti-religion. I'm just saying that this is a problem in both religious thinking and various ideological thinking. And we need to get away from this if we want to see any kind of peace in the world. And that's the other thing. Like Revelations or something warns of a false peace, and I think that puts a lot of fear in people's head and keeps them fighting. But it doesn't need to, because it doesn't have to be a false peace. Like you don't have to have a one world government with everybody being controlled by some weird Illuminati puppet master. You can have peace by simply acting more rationally. And I understand that there are difficulties because of the foibles of human nature, but to say that the foibles of human nature are what cause the world to go into conflict in from a small group or like just self-interest perspective is not. No, it takes a lot of powder being lit to set all this shit off, and for multiple ends. So it's definitely stoppable at a lot of points, is what I'm trying to say. And the reason that it's not stopped is the populace is not informed enough. And being cynical about this is not the way that we're going to move past this. Okay, I think I've put enough out there. Now, to give y'all some food for thought. So let me know what you're thinking in the comments below, because I'd really like to know. Because I mean, this is really, really bothersome. I mean, I hate, and I'm not accusing this particular pundit of throwing in the gauntlet, because he's obviously a podcaster or something of the sort. He's participating in dialogue and promoting these ideas. But yeah, there is a sort of flavor to that makes people kind of stop paying attention and stop engaging. And I'm not talking about engaging like an annoying, I'm going to go be an activist, but I mean like constantly reviewing your understanding of things. Anyway, take care. I'm going to go get some Chinese food, all right?